Guess who's back? Hello and welcome back to another video. I'm your beautiful host, Young Buffett, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at CLOV. We're going to talk about the overall market. We're going to take a look at public sentiment. We're going to take a look at dark pool data. We're going to take a look at Reddit. We are just going to look at everything. So stay tuned. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing, and let's just jump right into it. So first and foremost, if you haven't already, definitely scroll down, go to the description, find where it says Finery Trading Group. You know what? I'm going to make it the pinned comment on this video too. On Finery, I have a whole trading group. We just sit here and we talk about stocks all day long. So if you ever need anybody to talk to or bounce some ideas off of, this is the place to be. We're live here Monday through Friday during market hours, sometimes even over the weekends. We're just talking, brainstorming, coming up with trades, and overall building an awesome community of people who just love talking about stocks. Next, not to sound too salesy, but a lot of you guys are asking me, especially on TikTok, what kind of platform I use and where the best place to buy stocks and stuff are. One of my favorite ones is Public. So I'll talk about this trade a little bit later today, but I actually bought CLOV today on Public. I just threw $25 at it. It is dipping so low, I just couldn't say no to that. So if you sign up with Public using my link down in the description, it's an affiliate link, you can get up to $50 in free stocks. And so do I. So it's a win-win. So why not? Now, let's see what people are talking about. Ape Wisdom covers Wall Street Bets, Wall Street Bets New, Wall Street Bets Elite, stocks, stock market, investing, SPACs, options, and day trading subreddits. This takes a look at the most talked about stocks on Reddit in the past 24 hours. Number one, most talked about by a mile, is SPY. There's a lot of craziness going on in the overall market, and a little bit later in this video, we'll talk about the details and what to look out for and why everything is crashing. But overall, about a 59% positive public sentiment on SPY, so it's literally a coin flip. A lot of people are talking about what's going on, and a lot of people are actively trading the SPY. So definitely keep an eye out on it. It is very, very interesting. Next, we have Smile Direct Club, SDC, with a 71% overall positive public sentiment. People are just really pouring into this one. It was up around like 5% or so today, but then it kind of just followed the market and crashed right back down. So I'm not too quick to jump on something like that. I've seen SDC trade in the past before. It kind of feels pump and dumpy to me. Let me know in the comments below if you like it or if you're in it. I don't know. I'm not going to touch it though. Next, we got GameStop, number 3. Then we have Yang. So Yang is a bearish stock for all China stocks. It's a good one to trade when there's a lot of China drama, which is also tying into what's going on with the SPY, with Evergrande, and just a bunch of other China drama going on. But definitely keep an eye out on that one. I do not have any positions on Yang as of now. I might later. I'd rather be late than wrong. So we'll keep an eye out on that. Not doing anything yet. Then we have Palantir, Alibaba, Tesla, AMC at number 8, which is weird because AMC is usually close to GME. Then we got Apple, blah, 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 QQQ, BlackBerry, AMD, HSBC, Lucid. Then we got CLOV. Here we go. All right, so CLOV, overall positive public sentiment at 69%. Nearby words include holding, BB, calls, up, Tilray, LMAO, buy, like, dip, red, Palantir, last, good, re, and SDC. So overall, people are talking about it still. It is still very actively talked about. Just take a look at their subreddit, 45,000 members strong right now. Community is still great as always, but just the stock is just getting destroyed. So let's take a look at Wall Street Bets positive public sentiment ticker chart thing. Everybody's talking about SDC, Palantir, Tesla, Apple, AMD, Wish, QQQ, BABA, UVXY, GME, Amazon, Microsoft, blah, 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 then CLOV. So CLOV is right here. Again, it does just keep bouncing back and forth. I know about a week ago or so, we saw CLOV number 1 skyrocketing in the comment volume. I'm very curious to see how it all just starts to digest though. Let's find CLOV right here. This is what I like to take a look at. It's a very, very interesting chart. It shows the positive sentiment and the negative sentiment and the comment volume and the stock price, because I like to take a look at what happens first. I like to document and try to gauge, will the stock price move first, or will comment volume move first? In some cases, it moves identically. You can see that beige dot and that blue dot, the comment volume and the stock price moved at the same time last week. That seems very, very coordinated. Other times we see that the stock price goes up, then people start talking about it. And then other times we see that the stock price moves up after people talk about it. So it's just an interesting thing to keep an eye on. Right now, the stock price is plummeting, and so is the comment volume. But we'll see how that develops. This is now the max pain for CLOV. So if you don't know what max pain is by now, I made a video about it about like a month ago now. But quick recap, just in case you need a little refresher. The max pain is the strike price. In this case, for this week, it's 8.5. It's the strike price that the options market makers need CLOV to be at or close at to cause the most amount of damage, financial damage, to calls and puts. So as you can see from this chart, there are an overwhelming number of calls, and a little bit later in this video we will dive in and take a look at the calls and the call volume and what it all means. But we also have some people with puts. I have some interesting numbers I want to take a look at with the puts, because I was really tempted to sell puts today and it didn't look too appealing to me. So hang on, we'll talk about that a little bit later. Just as a point of reference, this is the SPY's max pain for this week. Look at all of these puts compared to the calls. People are overwhelmingly bearish right now on the overall market, and it has a lot to do with what's going on with China. It has a lot to do with Powell, who's speaking on Wednesday. So keep an eye out for Wednesday and Thursday. It should be very, very, very interesting. Now, taking a look at dark pool data, hasn't really changed much. It is still extremely elevated. When CLOV did its little spike last week, the net short volume went ridiculous, but right now, the net short volume is pretty much what we've been seeing it as always. It's negative 3.5 million. Net short volume in dollars is negative 29.4 million. And as always, we do not have a lifeguard here, so we just don't know what's going on. We don't know who's shorting. We don't know how much they're shorting. We don't know what their price is. We don't know what's going on because it is a dark pool. There is no light on it. And we just have to kind of just gather all the information we can and see what happens. But it's important to know the 6% drop today is not only because CLOV is a manipulated stock, or it's not only because CLOV is just getting shorted to hell, but it's the overall market. And I'm glad to see Sanal K. Literally every single time I pull up a Reddit post, it's from this guy. But I like to see that people are talking about it in the subreddit. I was going to get really kind of upset or disappointed if every post on the subreddit today was, why are hedge funds shorting everything? But I'm glad to see that people are actually looking at the overall market as well, because CLOV is a part of the overall market. So Sanal says the Chinese government will bail out Evergrande, or will do equity for debt type of deal, and that'll be that. I'm not overly concerned. In the meantime, here we have CLOV at an amazing discount, bullish as ever. So if you don't know what's going on, Evergrande is struggling, and they owe a bond payment this Thursday. So everybody has their eye on what is Evergrande going to do. If you want more information about Evergrande, just Google it. Take a look at what other people are talking about. It is a very, very interesting development out of China, and it's very, very important to our markets, and it's very, very important overall. So that's what's affecting the market right now. Powell speaking on Wednesday. Taper talks are constantly happening. The debt ceiling is right around the corner. There are just a lot of catalysts and a lot of scary stuff. And that's why the market is acting the way that it's acting. So we had a crazy epic rip towards the end of the day today. We blew past the 50-day moving average, dropped right below the 100-day moving average, and then just worked our way right back up. So it's super, super interesting to see that buy the dip mentality kicking in here. But looking at CLOV specifically, CLOV just opened up down and just kept working its way down in a very, very similar format that it does every single time. It opened up and then it started just plummeting, found its little consolidation place, and then just followed the overall market really. Nothing crazy happened other than the fact that just a lot of selling pressure. And that was happening across the board. It saw a low of 774. So I did buy CLOV on public, and I commented saying it's just severely undervalued. And it is what it is. It shouldn't be this price. So it's been getting so shorted and manipulated to the point where it just can't go up. But at this point, if it's just going to follow the market, we just literally just have to buy whenever we can and just see what happens. I'm not expecting anything crazy. The people who are buying options right now are expecting things to go crazy. There are a lot of volume on the 8.5 calls for this week, 16,000 volume on the 8.5 calls. Then for October 15th, volume is split across the board. Again, I always say if I'm going to buy a contract, I buy contracts that have time. Again, none of this is financial advice or a recommendation to buy or sell anything. But if you do, just take a look at buying some shares at this point. I mean, CLOV is so cheap, $7.86 right now at the time of this recording. Let's see what happens after hours. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see what happens Wednesday. Let's see what happens Thursday. Should be a very, 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 very interesting week. And with that, I love you, and I'll catch you on the next video.